Hi friends, welcome back to Dergy playing Persona 5 Royal. I want to experiment moving the camera. There's plenty of times where I felt like moving the camera to the middle of the other side, unless I'm looking at a map. Like maybe moving it during long battles, that kind of thing. Because you know the mini map ends up right here, though, right? And let's be frank here, I don't necessarily really need to use the mini-map. I can always just open the map if I'm just exploring a palace. So, considering that, you know, any other position gets so, at least a little bit in the way of so many UI elements, I feel like the smaller I make myself, and I'd have to make myself pretty small in order to not obscure much else, you know, the less the point of having my face here at all is, you know, being fulfilled. So I'll try this for a while as far as camera position and see if just keeping it here for this episode works while I'm editing. Think about all the, you know, instead of constantly changing it, think about all the pros and cons of keeping it here first. Anywho, let's get on with our, well, I don't know what we're doing today. We'll figure it out. What's up? I was about to say our exploration or what have you, but well, we're not doing... Well, we might do mementos pretty soon, so maybe that would apply there, but we'll see. Sup, Mishima? This is so intense. I never would have imagined you'd be going after Shido. Well, he was behind everything as much... You know, like, Mishima's out of the loop. It's really interesting because he was a catalyst for our popularity, and he also feeds us a lot of other ways we can help people, and I'm very grateful for that, of course. But he doesn't really know anything about what's really going on. So it's really fun to see his reactions, especially because he's a huge fan of us, right? It doesn't matter who the Phantom Thieves are going after, justice is always on their side. I'm glad I kept the Phantom Thieves, the fan site running through all the criticism too. Yeah, so am I. That's gotta be a thing to really troop through, and I just wish you didn't pull so many all-nighters, okay, dude? Hire some mods, please? I mean, that's all I gotta say. Like, freaking get some people to mod for you that are also Phantom Thieves fans. I'm sure that happens, right? I'm sure that there would be people willing. I mean, hell, I've moderated for a site, because I loved the site, right? I think I'll change up the server rate question to commemorate your comeback. I'll obviously be answering yes this time. I believe in you. Stay strong. This guy never changes. Well, it sounds like he's looking forward to how it goes. All we can do is wait now, too. I might actually just start, doing... No, well, I really would like to just continue coffee so that I can keep pushing through. I mean, granted, I barely had enough SP stuff to keep going. I just want to make sure that I have more than a barely, and that I don't have any low SP issues, you know, regardless of how much stuff I end up using, like in a boss fight. Like the Shido fight, yeah, I had to restructure some things in order to win, and a lot of that was giving myself SP stuff. So, again, I really want to make sure that I'm using SP, and also, or that I'm getting SP items, and we'll see what happens. I'll be thinking about what to do specifically. I'll probably go through mementos. I honestly might very well go through mementos starting tomorrow. I'll try not to use any of my SP stuff there. I'll also try to stock up on SP stuff through, Jose. Also, I'll start, you know, doing some more Persona things. Make sure I do that while I explore the new area. Get some new Personas happening. The Shido, era Personas. What's up, there?
Okay.
We did everything we could, and now we wait. Yep, I know the drill by now, Morgana. Especially since I, as a player, have played this game, like, definitely twice all the way through, and by this game I mean base P5. And that I've gotten pretty far. I haven't gotten to this point in Royal yet, so I'm happy that I finally am past Shido's. And now I'm gonna start probably running into some new content in regards to the base game, that Royal added, that I wasn't aware of. Because I'm sure there will be some differences in mementos from how I remember it, the final area. In fact, yeah, that's what I need to do, is I need to reach the depths anyway, so I think I'm going to be going through mementos starting tomorrow evening. And the more I think about it, do I really want to just continue? Like, let's be honest here. I'm so far behind so many of these side confidants that I really feel like it is still in my best interest to not really care about them. Especially because I really want to have that SP to throw around, right? At the same time, I'd really like to at least, like, max out, like, Takemi and Mishima. And, well, with that in mind... Well, oh yeah, that's right. I can't do that tonight anyway, because we just mementos, right? By the way, what's up, Sojiro? And those guys never let up. You should all be careful. Stay on your guard, even when it seems like it's over. Will do, Sojiro. Those guys? I'm guessing he means us. Which, yeah, I would be worried about that and have that kind of sentiment if I was in Sojiro's position. Knowing that my friends are doing really dangerous shit that could get them in jail for life or worse. Like, if you think about that, like, really... knowing that people I love are doing that kind of stuff, just, I mean, I feel bad for him, man. Especially because Futaba's wrapped up in all this. And considering he's supporting us regardless of all that, Sojiro's awesome, man. He's a great person. Hey everyone, it's time to do some shopping. Heck ye. Here's what we got for you today. First, the Yaki Emo set. It's all about autumn, folks. Eat the delicious emo and power up your stamina. 3 legendary Yaki Emo and 10 Beni Asma. Both items in one set. What a steal. And wait, is that SP stuff? I won't get that if that's SP stuff. But wait, there's more. Next up is the special sweet set. This is your chance to obtain that one and only special item. Melon Pan and Moondongo. Both items in one set. What a steal. Wow, they're both such great items. Kids, I wish what to get. Alright, well, considering I'm pretty sure I saw SP stuff, I know exactly. Yes, okay, blah, 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 same stuff every time, okay. Ah, dang, see, now it's in the way that I'd really like... Hold on a second. Hold the phone. If I do this, at the very least, I'm not obscuring the text here. If I could get to a point where, at least, like... I'm thinking this might be a good... Actually, top left might be a good spot for exploring. Anywho, gimme that. I saw SP items, so gimme. Oh, another buyer's just called in. Thank you so much. You're welcome for the money, dickhead. Just kidding. No, dickhead would be freaking Shady Commodities guy, but yeah. That would be... I'd call him a dickhead. This guy doesn't seem like a dickhead, though. If you're selling stuff on TV, I feel like it's a pretty good chance you're a dickhead, though. I apologize to people who are or know show hosts that are not dickheads. I don't know. It's a perception I have because I feel like the more you get mired in corporate and showbiz stuff, the worse of a person you tend to be. But maybe that's just because, you know, of my view and the fact that the public's general view of a lot of these people are tainted by a lot of tabloid stuff and news stuff and bad press about them and words being twisted and all sorts of stuff like that. So, and also they live really stressful lives, and the more stressful your life is, it really does seem like the more chance you're gonna have to mess up and really do something that's really gonna fuck something up. Oh, they both sold out? That last customer was extraordinarily lucky. We'll try to get your order to you as soon as quickly as possible. Goodbye for now. We'll see you again next time with another fabulous product. Heck ye. Goodbye for now. Goodbye for now for you. Now I think he said goodbye for now twice. And I said it a third time. Now all we have to do is wait for it to arrive. Heck ye. Unless that was a second host that said the other goodbye for now. I don't know. It does show the one on the screen, though that doesn't mean anything. It's a static image. Who knows if they have two and I just didn't, like, catch that. I feel like there was a point where they did, and a lot of these shows do have two people, you know, side by side selling stuff and saying different things about it, right? Anyway, I kind of doubt there's curry stuff. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and make coffee. Oh, hey, never mind. Let's do it.
What do you want to do?
Actually, I have so much of this left, and, well, the thing is, I'm more liable to want to use the coffee in battle or while exploring so that I don't have to go back to save rooms in order to... Like, I have a good curry store going right now, right? Like, I have... How much do I have right now? Yeah, I have 10 of those. Those are nice. But what I really want is coffee that I can use everywhere right now. So, that is what I will make. Also, wait, how are we doing on lockpicks? Actually, before we go into Mentos, I want to make sure we're good on lockpicks and we're not going to run out anytime soon. So let's do that before I forget. Yeah, I could also see what's up with Shady Commodities and if there's something I would like to buy there. But you know what I'll do is I'll do that once I know I've got some money stored up. And in fact, I very well might do some part-time job things and stuff and get some money that way here. We'll see. Let's make some 2s.
Okay.
You can probably make 6. As always, lockpicks out the butt. Actually, let's be honest here. I have not ended up using go-homes very much. Though, I want to make... I'll make the 1.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Just in case, you know, I end up using a bunch of them. I don't know. I just feel like it's... Oh, shit! Okay. Now, what I meant... Okay, so we ended up making 2 because of my skill level, I guess? Yeah, let's make 5 more. Lockpicks. Make it... Lockpick times 5. And another one. Definitely getting better. I can tell just by watching you. Why, thank you. And yeah, even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes, that is often the case. Now, I'd kind of rather not cover up the date, but I can lean this way in order to have the date show. And the evening and the day of the week. I just want to make sure I don't get in the way of dialogue, you know, other UI elements that are a little bit more, you know, constant. But, okay, one more thing. I'm gonna try... This was fine once I moved it up a bit, and it didn't cover that up. Let's try that again. I'll really keep trying to look for what's covered up and what ain't. Now, granted, for this screen specifically, it really does feel like this pretty tried and true thing for dungeons might work. See, I said I wasn't going to move it around very much, but it's a tick I have in my personality. If I feel like I can do something a little bit better, and it's not going to take very much effort, I'm often going to keep trying until I realize that I can't really, you know, get something perfect in any small way. You know, as long as it's a small thing like that, right? As long as it's just a little detail like that, I'll just keep expending small amounts of energy to see if I can make it better. And if I cannot, then I'll move on when I'm doing endeavors like this. And I think that's actually a pretty good thing about how I work. I'm still figuring out how I work, because for the longest time I was very afraid of working in any way whatsoever, and I'm still not gonna go out there and find a normal job, because mentally I'm unfit for it. I really am. Especially my anxiety and some other mental things I've got going on. Except, well, I tried for disability, and those people don't believe that I have a disability, just like I was afraid of. They don't believe it. They don't think they actually, you know, apparently that's common. You have to go through lawyers and all this kind of shit, and the idea of even trying to deal with that made me stop trying. So now I'm just continuing to live off of my dad and trying to make him money so that I'm not being a burden financially anymore, finally. You know, by doing something that I love, that I can put the effort into, because frankly, I haven't been able to put the effort into a normal job so far. I have a lot of worth issues to work through, and working for other people is going to be liable to make me feel worthless and useless again, because I have very severe ADHD, and I will not use medication for various reasons that I won't go into right now. Basically, I tried a bunch and they didn't work. Let's leave that there. There's a lot of side effect issues. There was a lot of just... Stimulants didn't seem to really actually, as a general rule, do much for me. Despite the fact that that's supposed to be what good ADHD meds are. So, I don't know. I don't want to take medication anymore, and I've been able to help a lot of the symptoms that were the worst just by doing things on my own, changing up some stuff in the way that I do them, and I have a few tools in my box for managing symptoms, and really things as simple as exercising make a huge difference. Things as simple as drinking enough water and sleeping enough make a difference. Everyone knows that, but a lot of times it doesn't seem right until you try it for long enough to understand why this is better. Because a lot of times at first, because you're trying to transition to something different, and because it's going to have a long-term benefit, you don't see the benefits unless you stick with it. Anyway, I'm going to stop going off on a tangent right now until something else reminds me of my issues, and then I'll probably, my real-life stuff, and then I'll probably go off on another one, but talking about the stuff on here really helps me, and I hope it helps other people too. Maybe relate or, be inspired by the fact that I'm making content, despite the fact that there's a lot of things in my mind that have made it hard for me to feel like I can even contribute in any meaningful way to anything at all. I'm doing this, and right now I don't have very many views or anything. I'm getting like 1 or 2 views on mostly old videos every day. And, well, at least I'm getting not 0. And sometimes, I mean, I haven't gotten a comment in a very long time, but most of the ones I've gotten were nice. You know, and it's small victories like that. And I'm just really hoping that YouTube and Twitch can be a career for me, because I really, you know, it's out of my control. A lot of it's going to be up to the internet, and a lot of it's also going to be up to... But of course, I can keep pushing out content, different kinds of content, figuring out what goes on. And I also have the deck stacked against me, because I don't want to do the popular things that I think are bad. Like, there's a lot of popular tricks that clearly make sure you get a lot of views to some degree or another that I don't want to stoop to for various reasons. I think it's morally wrong. And there's types of content that are more popular than Let's Plays by a mile that I don't want to do. But then, you know, there's people like Nico B who he just never deviates from what he wants to make, and he makes a living doing it. Same with Lore Runner, and some other people I watch. They make a living making the content they want, and they don't deviate from it. People like that keep me working on mine and seeing what I can do with it, and hoping that I can make a living from it. At the very least, be able to supplement my dad's income, which is mostly governmental at this point. He's in his 60s, and he has Social Security and all that, but we're losing a little bit of money every month because of costs. Now, of course, he has a lot of stuff saved up, but, you know... There's a danger we'll kind of run out of money in a few years unless I figure out what I can contribute, because he's done working. I really think he has a pretty I'm not gonna try any more attitude, and that scares me, but I understand the reasoning why. And I still feel like I absolutely need to work for him. I probably will work and live with him. Work, you know, online and live with him until he dies. Probably. And I'm just hoping I can do that with these things that I love, and that I won't have to try other kinds of online work, which I don't want to do. All I know is that having much of a life outside of this house just doesn't feel right for me until I get myself financially and mentally a bit more squared away. And also, more importantly, I think, squared away with I know I'm doing something right. Because I'm making a little bit of money, but mostly because I'm doing something that I love, and I never want to stop doing it. And I'm getting there with the YouTube, but there's just a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty that sometimes keeps me from wanting to make stuff. And I also keep feeling like I'm not really able to make the kind of content that's going to get enough views and enough people that really like it. But of course, I've only been trying for a few months. And I need to keep reminding myself that it's always a long game, and I know that, and everyone that's made it popular hasn't really done so overnight. And there's of course exceptions to that, but that's because they did things that were trends at the time, and I don't want to follow trends anyway, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things. I'm scared, man. I'm scared that I can't make a living. I'm scared that I'm not going to be able, the way that I am mentally, to financially support myself in America. And I just hope I'm wrong about that. And I'm gonna try my best to do what I love in a way that hopefully gets me in that direction. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until people start wanting to support me. Which is why, you know, I'm not begging for money here or anything. I don't intend to do that. I'm just venting about my fear that I can't work. But I am very aware that the thought that I can't work is probably wrong, because I know I have mental faculties, and I know I have skills and abilities. But one tiny bit of outside pressure tends to be enough to not allow me to function enough to do a job right. And I don't know what to do about that. So here I am, trying to make a living, doing the things that I want when I want to. And I know there's people that have done it, so I'm gonna keep trying. Anyway. And I know I'm trying to justify it to myself, because there's so many people in my life right now that are telling me that I shouldn't do this, but it's the only thing I feel compelled to do whatsoever. And the idea of trying to get another regular job again is so crippling. The idea of even sitting around and doing what I feel like is doing nothing, which is not this. this feels like a step forward, making videos. But, you know, just sitting there and watching YouTube for hours on end like I used to, or really just playing a game just to play a game for very long anyway, you know, by myself without doing anything with it, or at least planning something with it for YouTube or whatever. It feels wrong until I start doing something like this, and then it feels right. So, that's a good sign, I think, that I'm on the right path here for me right now. It really does feel like this is the right path for me, is making content. We'll see.
Well then.
At least for the moment. I will leave that up to change, possibly, but, you know. Heck ye! Sleepy Dergon time.
I've reconsidered my opinion of you, inmate.
Yai!
The look on your face seems to be that of a man who has accomplished a great deed.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I kind of felt like that when I beat him last night. I didn't think I would beat him that second attempt, or, I mean, I guess you could call it a third attempt. But I really only call it the first attempt and the second attempt, because I didn't really change my strategy much the first time, but then I really redid a lot of things, and then was able to do it the first try the second time, so I consider those the only two attempts. The first attempt was throwing my head against a brick wall. The second one was actually strategizing, and, strategizing in a JRPG actually worked. Amazing, right? Because, you know, they're designed for that being part of the gameplay.
To think you would use the trap set against you to entrap them.
Indeed, clever. I don't know what I enjoy doing this eyebrows thing, as y'all might be aware of. Just, I owe you a lot. See, my first thought was, you're exaggerating, but you know what? I want to stop talking like that. I want to not even pick that, because, you know, even though I know he has an ulterior motive for saying these nice things. At least I think he does. I don't really know the reasoning behind his words, I just know he turns on us. And the whole of humanity. And that he kind of has never been on our side. But anyway. But still, you know, I owe a lot. I also would like to just, you know, say thank you here for his compliments, right? Don't want to be a greedy asshole. Don't want to be self-deprecative, so I owe you a lot.
We should be thanking you for entertaining us thus.
You're welcome, I guess?
You've even overcome a mysterious misfortune.
Entertaining us. I'm really like, do they do this for our benefit, or do they do this for their entertainment? Like, the actual Igor. Like, what is the reason? These beings that have so much power could likely do things that have nothing to do with it, unless maybe that's what their purpose is. But I don't know. It's really interesting to think about why, but maybe that's left ambiguous for a reason. Because I know that ultimately they're a vehicle for a lot of the symbolism in the game, just like so many other things are in this series. You know, the Velvet Room people. So I'm just really wondering as to why, but maybe that hasn't really even been thought about on the dev side, so, although maybe it has. But figuring out reasons why, especially as I play more of the older games and any future Persona games, there's no way they're not developing Persona 6 right now, if you think about it. They've got to be at least planning it. Persona 5 came out, and I'm actually wondering. Let me go look that up. Interesting. So, apparently, Persona 5 came out in 2016. Persona 3 and 4 came out in 2006 and 8, respectively, which I think is interesting, because, again, these games always used to be closer together. And that's not the only series that was like that before. I want to say Bethesda games are way farther apart than they used to be, in general. Like, it used to be, like, I remember Oblivion came out, and then Fallout 3 came out, I think, 2 years later, and then Skyrim came out, like, 2 years after that. And then Fallout 4, hold on. I know Skyrim came out in 2011. Fallout 4. Release day 2015, yeah. And then we're still like, where's TES 6, people? But, you know, I know part of that is because they're focusing on other things. Bethesda. Like fucking Fallout fucking 76, which they shouldn't have, but anyway, like, you know, people are waiting for the next big open world game from them. Open world RPG. And I'm just afraid that it's going to be like Fallout 4 again, in the way of it just circumvents the whole series for, you know, the reason of technological advances. Even though we're trying to tell a story with this game, let's not focus on that. What? And anyway, all I know is that way more than TES 6, I'm excited for the Pillars of Eternity 3D open world game that Obsidian is developing. You know, Obsidian, the people that recently made a game that's better than Fallout 4, in my opinion. That's basically Fallout, Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds is better than Fallout 4 by miles. I would even go so... I enjoy it more than Fallout 3 and I don't know about New Vegas. Definitely Fallout 3. I love New Vegas. But again, that's another Obsidian game. I really, really like, Obsidian's writing style better, too, and just generally how they approach games. I just realized I like, you know... Yeah, Fallout New Vegas is another Obsidian game, so... Obsidian does what Bethesda used to do well better. Bethesda's now good at making games that make them money and not fucking caring about anything else. At least as far as I'm concerned, they're one of those companies now, and that pisses me off. I plan to never become like that, because I intend to make games in the future. Although, do I still... It's always been a dream of mine, but the idea of learning coding at all feels like such an insurmountable task for me, because I was never good at math, or anything like that, and learning has always been something I've been averse to, unless I'm extremely interested in it. And I've mostly been extremely interested in playing games, and I know that so much goes into developing a game. It scares me to have to learn development, because that's a lot to learn, and I'm scared that I can't grasp it well enough in time. And I do not want to go to college for it. Fuck college. I hate classes. I like learning on my own. Anyway.
There should be no one left to hinder your rehabilitation.
I won't ever even do courses and stuff either. I want to learn it on my own. But the crux of that is you're always accountable for it yourself. I know there's the resources out there, but I'm just scared that I can't. But of course I haven't tried, and I know that it would be a lot of time before I would know if coding is even something that I'm going to be good at all, or, you know, and maybe I don't even need to be a coder, but I can be developed in game development other ways. I'll have to think about that, man. All I know is I have things that I'm passionate about, and that passion drives me to go certain directions. So it may very well be that soon I will just learn coding, and I will just learn more game development types of stuff, and I might surprise myself with what I do with that.
Your rehabilitation will be completed shortly.
Yai!
That is, if everything goes well, without any problems.
That's ominous, knowing that he's the one who's about to cause the problems. He even laughed about it. Was I suspicious of this Igor at all in the first time I played this game? I don't know. I feel like I should have been. I don't remember, though. And hell, a lot of times I won't really be thinking about that kind of stuff. I'll just be absorbing the game as it comes, right? So, I probably wasn't. But, looking back now, it's pretty obvious. But of course, that's because I know the game's story, and he just chuckled there. And I think I know the reason why he chuckled there. And a lot of it's, you know, he chuckles a lot, and you think it's just because of his curiosity and his interest in you, right? But I really think that now that's a ha-ha-ha, without any problems. Yes, because I'm gonna cause them! I don't know. That seems to be the reason for why he just said that. The summary of the story up to this point has been updated. I might actually go read through that at some point, though I don't know when. Probably not now. To read, press triangle to open the menu, then select story from under the system option. I very well would like to sit down and do that soon. Read that soon. For y'all. Morgana hug.
Damn. How many times have I had this dream?
Listen, Morgana, you may be a shadow, but you're my shadow. Huggle.
Or could it be that it's not a dream at all?
Unfortunately, yes. But you have a purpose, Morgana, and you fulfilled it. You just don't remember that yet.
Memories aren't any closer to coming back to me.
Morgana hug. That is a memory, though, unfortunately. But your memories go beyond that. And you didn't just wake up there one day. There's more to that. Okay, Morgana? You have a purpose, and you're Gucci and Huggo.
But might there be something I'm supposed to remember?
Yes, there is. I believe in you, Morgana!
If I'm really not human, and if the truth of that comes to pass down in the depths of mementos, could it be that I'll...
Turn on us, maybe? That's what he's afraid of, but I don't think he will. I know he won't, as far as I remember. Morgana Huggle! I'm not exactly sure what he means, but I'm thinking it's turn on us, as he's afraid of that. Many Morgana Huggle. TV hijacking is terrorism. Smear campaigns are gross. Oh, you're so cutesy. See, now it's only 9%. What's gonna happen to the election? But it's gonna go up whenever he actually... Oh, that Phantom Thieves thing? It probably doesn't matter. He said the claims were baseless. Yeah, but that's what they all say, right? And then, you know, there's definitive proof, and then it turns out they weren't baseless. That happens with so many politicians. It's kind of just ridiculous. Not even kind of, it's very ridiculous. My favorite is, I did not have sex with that woman. And then, you know, there's clear evidence that was the case. Anyway, it must be a smear campaign by the opposition. How low is that? I'm worried about Shido-san. I don't want him to lose.